Hello and good morning. Welcome back to our 7th class of learning how to create a web application using Laravel Admin. How to create web dashboard using Laravel Admin. So in previous class, we stopped at grid basics. So today we're going to take it from there, and we're going to use our project that we always use for practicing with. So I'm going to begin by serving the project, and straight we move to our today's business. So I'll come to the project and I run PHP artisan serve. Then after, I come and access the project from the browser. Still loading. Okay, as it is running the PHP artisan serve, let us look what we're going to look at today. So today we're going to look at the column usage. Okay, how we can make usage of the column up to the best of the possibilities of Laravel Admin. So we're going to create another controller that we're going to use to demonstrate these things. Okay, so let's go straight and do that. So we're going to use again let me see. This time around, let us use the room controller, right? Let us use the room controller. Okay. So I'll go to a project /admin, and then come here and open another terminal. So you have two terminals for running your commands. So I'm going to come to where I save my important commands, and I'm going to use a room model, and then I'm going to change this one and call it today's topic, which is what? Column usage. Okay, column basic usage. Controller. So I'll copy that and run, so I can have this model that we're going. I can have this controller that we're going to use for demonstrating. So I'll run that one. So I'll copy the controller link, controller resource, and then I open the routes and then I paste it there. So I can change the name to what? To column basic usage. Copy the URL or the link, and then come to our project under authentication, under menu, and we're going to add that one under the grid. Okay, because the topic is under the grid. So I'll come here to the grid and then put column basic usage like this. Okay, so I'll go ahead and put the right icon or anything like you want, and then I'll come here and put the endpoint. So submit, and this endpoint should come here after the grid. Put it here and save. So if I refresh, we should be able to see that column here. I should be able to see that menu here, that item on menu. I should be able to see it here. All right, so let's go straight now into our business. Okay, so here we are. Okay, you see, so I can as well come here and rename this one to column basic usage like this. So I save, I come and refresh, everything should be All right. So after doing that, the next thing is now we're going to go and start implementing what you're supposed to learn today. I have, for example, here, I'm going to look at the column attribute, fixed column, etc. So I think we should first generate data. Okay, this can be enough to begin with. Okay, so the first thing is the column attribute. So the column attribute method is used to add HTML attribute to each row of the current column. A useful symbol, for example, this one, we can add an HTML what? An HTML attribute to a certain column. For example, you can say set attribute and then you say style and then you put there your attribute there. Okay, so let's go ahead and for example, use this one. Let me remove update. Here. Now, for example, let's say that I want this name to be bolded. Okay, want this name to be bolded. So you can write a small CSS here by adding set attribute. Okay, set attribute. Then when you say set attribute, so it will take HTML what? HTML attribute. So you can say style and then you put here the style that you want to add on that what? On that column. Okay, see style and then say color. Here you put the parameters. Okay, you know how HTML works. It takes a parameter and then the value, parameter and the value. So here you say style and then you say color. For example, red. I say, for example, font weight and say maybe bold, something like that. I hope you're getting it. So if I come here and refresh, I should be able to do what? I should be able to see my column being formatted with this extra attribute. Okay, this is font weight, for example. You can see it changed to what? To bold. Can you see? I can as well add font size. Okay, font size, I can say 200, something like that. You get it, eh? So I can organize it in this way. Like this. So I can add there my styles, for example. I can add anything else as a what? As an attribute. So if I come and refresh, so if I want to add another attribute, I can just simply put comma and put a what? Another attribute, which it will be, for example, I want maybe the title. I can come here after that style and value. I can come and give, for example, the class. You see? Can come and give class and then I say text center. Then I'll be able to do what? Have my text what? Centered. You see? I can come even and add another parameter. For example, I can say maybe title and then I give what? For example, this is a tooltip. For example, that is when I give a title. So I can give as many attributes as I want, but the whole point is set HTML attribute. You see, when I move my mouse here, it gives this title hover. So this one will be used to what? To set attribute. So there is a special attribute for style. For example, you want to write only CSS without using the set attribute. You can as well do that by just simply putting style and then you start formatting in your in your own way. For example, see, I can go ahead and get this style one and I come and put, for example, in price, I just put style like this. So here the difference is you just write style CSS directly, but here the difference is you have to first specify the attribute that you want to mean. Hope you're getting that. So put this on one line so it don't confuse you. Like this. So that is for the what? For the set attribute. But here for the style, you just write style directly. You see? So if I come and refresh, this style should be implemented here. You see? So that is how we do it, how we add style and set attribute on here using on a column. Then another one is fixed column. The table has more fields and squeeze the display. For example, if the table has too many fields and you want to do what? To squeeze and to fix this some specific columns, we can use fixed column to do what? To fix some specific columns so it can be squeezed and be there. So for example here, we can come here to our grid here on top and then say fix column 3. So you can see this column, these first 3 columns, they'll be fixed in a way that someone cannot do what? Cannot manage to move them. So this is the first column number 1, 2, 3. So column up to 3, and then also we said also column number what? Column -2. So you see this one of the side from the other side, column the second one, it is fixed. So this column they cannot collapse like they being squeezed. They cannot be what? They cannot be scrolled up to the other side. For example, if I want the name of the room to be fixed, I can as well come and say fix column number what? So I can move, for example, this column on top here, and then say fix column number 1. Let's say that if I refresh now, you'll see that the name of the room will be what? Will be fixed. This one becomes important when the table is what? Is very huge. This one becomes very important when the table is very huge. Oh, what's wrong? Oh, I not put here the semicolon. So you'll see the name column is what? Let me first disable this auto select. So here it means that if you want to fix 2 columns, the first and the second column, we count this one as a what? As a column also. So if you want to fix the first 2, you just simply put there 2. So these 2, they'll be fixed. So if you want to fix from the other side or from the left-hand side, you put the what? The negative. You put like from the negative side. This one is from the right-hand side. You can see the right-hand side. So if you also want to fix from the left-hand side, you just simply put the what? The negative. So this one becomes very important when you're dealing with a very wide what? A very wide table. So we move. So you can as well even set the column width. For example, if your columns has very big things and you want to limit the width, you can set the what? That will, for example, I can come here and set the width of the date created, and I say maybe it should be 200 pixels. So does it mean? It means that to limit the width of this to what? To 200 pixels. You see? It has tried to do what? It has tried to collapse them. So, or else you can set the column color by just simply putting color and then specify the column. You can set the help or the description of a column by adding help, and then you put what you want to describe in that column. For example, you can put here a help, and then you put here maybe with discount. The discount included, for example. So you see, if I do that and I come to price column, I should be able to see that there is a description. Can you see? There is a question mark here. So if a person moves the mouse there, you'll see what's the help tooltip with discount included. You see? So sometimes we can hide a column that we don't want to see by default. Let's say that I don't want to see this, the creation date by default. So what do? I just simply come here, the created, and I then put this hide, a method. I call the method of what? Of hide, like this. So this method of hide will hide the created at date. Come and refresh here. You'll see the created at date is hidden. It's not removed, but it's hidden. So if I want to access it, what do? I just simply come here and then I select, you see, it will be here but not selected. So I can select it and then say submit. Then to be able to do what? To be displayed. But by default, it will be what? It will be hidden. But if you apply the word hide on that, if you call the method of hide on that what? On that column. Sometimes it is important when you have a very huge table, you just hide some columns. So sortable means that if you want to sort these columns in ascending or descending order, I think we had already looked at that. Let's say, for example, I want to sort this ID, so I just simply put sortable like this. So if I put sortable, I'll be able to come and sort these things in ascending and descending order. You see, I can set in descending order, I can set in what? In ascending order. So that is the meaning of sortable. It's a very powerful feature. So helpers, in the current output of data, you can call the method this string, for example, following the column that shows the title. For example, this one, you can call the method string on the title and the method string title of the column. So these are helpers that Laravel provides. For example, that one of limiting the column if it is too fast. So Laravel Admin gives us ability even to call these helpers straight on the what? On the column. For example, if I want my title to display a minimum of what? Of what? Of 5 letters. So if this column is too big, I want it to display only 5 letters, okay? So what do? I can directly call that helper on my column. For example, let's come here to the name, and I just simply put limit, and then I say maybe 5. So what does it mean? It will limit the string or the name of this column to 5. You see, that's very powerful, and it is using Laravel str helper. Okay, so if you come to Laravel str helper, you'll find a lot of features, or the string features that can help you to manage the strings. So Laravel admin adds those ones for you. You see, it collapses for you. For example, if the name is too long, it hides them. If you want to display, you just click there and then it displays them. You see, so Laravel, if you come here, you'll find the str helper. Where is it? This one here. So this str helper, it will help you to work with strings. So in so many ways. For example, we'll think if the string is finished, converting that string to JSON, limiting that string, setting it to a string, changing the string to lowercase, changing it to uppercase, getting the string length, all that. So Laravel gets that and attached it for you to you. I mean for you on the what, on a column. For example, here, if my column is too big, I can limit and say it should always be that specific value. So it is very important. So that is a limit. So here there is you can even get a substring, etc. So Laravel Admin gives us also ability to work with array operations, whereby you can plug and select specific item that you want to display on what, on the table, in the what, in the array, that are in the array. And here we just use plug and then you specify what you need to do to display only. So you can even extend the column by adding much more features. For example, if you say extend the column and then you say here the value that you want, and then you can go ahead and specify the function here. I want to see things that are only important. You can set the color of a column. We have already discussed that. We discussed that styles. So you can come, for example, here and set the color of the column. You see? So all text will be having that specific color that you'll have set here. So if you don't want to write the other kind of display, the one that we discussed about in the previous class, you can as well write this kind of what, of display. All right, let's try to implement this. So if you want to write a pop over when someone clicks on a column, you can as well implement that by first writing a pop over in a section of admin, then grid, then displayers, and then you write this abstract, and then you call this what, this pop over. So let us look at more features that you can do with a column. We have this one, the display callback. I think we already discussed about it, whereby you can override the display that you want. We discussed about this one in the what? In the previous class, in the introduction of the basics of HTML. Okay, so that one we've already covered. This one we've already covered it. So here they're showing us that you can as well put the column information. I mean, you can as well decide for the column after what? After implementing it. For example, you can say if maybe a specific item is has a specific, a specific value of a column has a specific condition, or we arrive the specific condition, and then you change the decision within the table. I mean within the display. Let me show what I'm talking about. For example, I want a user to be able to edit the details, okay, with the specific conditions. So let me go ahead and first override these details. So I can just simply come and put here, let me collapse this one and put here display, okay, and then I just return the details directly. So this one will just give me the same results, okay. So you see, it will give me the what? The same results. However, I may say that if the ID is greater than 2, someone should be able to edit that column of this count. I mean, I can say maybe if maybe, for example, the string length of that details is empty, someone should be able to edit. So how can I do that? So if you want to do that, you'll have to receive here the second parameter, which is the column itself. Okay, the first one is the value, the second one is the column itself. So I can just simply come and say if str len of this is greater than 2, return. So if the string is greater than 2, you should return the string and come back as it is. Otherwise, you should do what? You should make this column to be editable. So I'll just land on this column and then I add editable. Like this. So whatever I could do outside this column, I can as well do it from here inside the display after I've made the decision, or after I've done I've compared the value and then make a decision and then return back. So if I come back and refresh now, I have to return. Where's the details column? It is here. Good enough. All of them, they are more than so maybe I can say if it is greater than maybe I say 50, 25 characters, 35, 25 characters, because all of them they're less than that. So you see, if it is less than 25 characters, it is editable. So let me try to make this one to have more than 25 characters, and I save. If I refresh, it is not editable. Can you see that? It's not editable. So that's the whole point, is that in this display you can make a decision on a column still, even after you've done what? Even after you have even after you've override the display and you get the value, you make a decision here and then modify the column itself. Okay. For example, I can say if it is this, it should be sortable. If it's not that, it should not be sortable. So this is an example that shows that you can even change the decision of the column inside the inside the display after accessing its data. So content mapping, this is also another important thing. We can use content mapping to display what you want. For example, if I want to write this available, not available, and I want to override it, okay, I can override it by using the content mapping. For example, this is how we use. For example, here they're saying that if maybe your column is having that F and you want to override it with female, this is what you do. You write simply the method of using, and then you pass this one an array and a value that represents each value that is already there. So for example, I want to say if the room is available, you should say yes. If the room is not available, you should say no. What do? I first determine the possible values that this room can have, or that this column can have, and then I come and say what is room availability here, and then come and put here using like this. Okay, then using, you just simply open this bracket like this, and then you put the possible values with their, the possible parameters, their value. So I can say if it's available, it should say yes. So if it's available, I should say yes, for example. If it's not available, you should say no. So you come here, not available, should say no. So you get it, eh? So the possible value and what you want it to be presented as with, okay? I hope you've got that. So if I come and refresh, can you see those rooms that are available, they're having yes, and those which are not available are having no. So this one, it becomes important when you're using abbreviation in your code and you want them to display something else for the what? To the user. That's what you do. You use this using method. Then we have this method of what? Of replace. This one will replace a specific item with a specific value. For example, if you have the dashes and you want to replace them with something else, you can use this one. Okay. Let me give you an example. For example, here on price, you can call this method and say replace zeros with the what? With dash. How to replace them with dash values which don't have zero. But this one is what's the characters. So we proceed. We have use the view method to make the current column render a view display such as so if you're having your own blade and you want this column to display specific value from the blade, you can use this you can use this method by just simply adding view and then you specify the method that you want. By just adding the method of view and then you specify the blade value that you want to replace there, like this. And then to access that method, that value, just simply say value. You can access like that, and then you can even access the entire model by just simply putting model and then the value. That's not very important, but it is in case you want to use the view, that's what you can do. So we have column expansion. If you want to be able to expand your column, so like if you have too much content of the column, so this feature can enable you to do what? To expand your column. So expand the display by clicking on the column or by clicking on expand other related, such as following example of 10 latest comments. So if you want to display more things, this is what you do. So the first thing that you do, you go to the column and then you add the word expand, and then you modify. For example, we are getting the columns, the comments, and then after we get them, we write. I want to see, I've never used it, but I want to internalize it and see how it is being implemented. So it is a grid, and then you say I want to see how I can achieve this. So it is a grid first, and then you say, okay, this is the table. You say the grid. All right, here you map and get the comments, and then okay, I've got it. So I've never used it, but we can implement it right now. So assume that you want to get more details. Okay, let us say that you want to get, when you're reviewing a room, you want to see the latest rooms in the sub table of it. What you do, you can use this expand to display that. Or if you want maybe more information about a room or anything when someone is viewing it, you can use the expand to do that. So to do that, we just simply come here and write, for example, let's say that we want that feature to work on the what, on the, for example, let's choose here some random room. Okay, let's say maybe we want to display the building information there, okay, in this particular column. So to do that, you just simply come here and put expand, okay, and this expand will take will take a method, okay, will take a method. Copilot has written everything for me, but I'm going to explain it. So you see here in expand, I get the comments, room, take what. Okay, let me just first. So here in expand, let's say that I want to get information about the room. So in expand, it just takes the function and then they give you the model itself or the value of this of this entire model here. So after doing that, you can go ahead and, for example, I want to display the information about the building itself. Okay, so I can just simply come here and say, of course, this we have that relationship which says that this room belongs to what? A building. So I can get the building here. I just simply say building equals to model and then say building like this. Of course, we know this is the information of the building. So I can check if it is not null. Sometimes the building can be deleted. I say if it is null, I return no building. So if it is not null, then I knew that there's what? There's a building. So I can create an array of this building information. I want to put this information here in form of a table. Let me see how this table is organized. Okay. So let's go to building and see which information have on the building that we may need to display. I can come here to the building controller and see what we may need to display. For example, I want to display these a few things. So I'll come here. Let me first remove this. So I put this information in an array. I say data, and then I put the value here. So for example, the building name and details. Let's just simply use that. Building name, which you can get on B name, that's the building, and then maybe the details, which you can get these details like this. And then we display these things in a what? In a widget in the table. We'll see those widgets when we proceed. So I can come here and just put the title that I want, which can be the name and details of building. And then I remove these others. And then I pass the data like this. So that one will create for me what? A table for that. So we come and refresh. I should have ability. Or is it? I think where did you put it on the room? I put it here in the building. So you see, when I click there, I should be able to see the information about the specific building. I think because this one is fixed, that's why it is hiding it. Let me try to hide the name. So you see, the information is here. However, you can organize it in another better way. But here the point is, you can see more details about a specific thing by when you click on what? On expand, like this. And you're able to see more information about that particular item. So that's the whole point. Here, for example, they are displaying the latest comments. When you expand here, you're able to see more comments. So it can be even, this one is for me was just a single item. However, let's say that you're in a table of building, okay, in a table of rooms, I mean a table of buildings, and you want to display the most top rooms. So it's not a must that you should always use this grid, I mean this widget table. You can use that one, even write your own HTML and display it there. So if I give you a task, for example, I say that when I'm previewing rooms, you can do that as a challenge. When you're previewing rooms here, I mean when you're previewing buildings, here under buildings, I want when someone views the table of rooms, you should be able to expand and see the rooms. I mean the column of rooms. For example, let me show you here. I think I had something here. Okay, let's come into relationship. This is from buildings. Okay, so I want here, instead of showing galleries, I want, for example, when I expand here, you should display those galleries in form of photos if you want, in form of photos. Even a column of rooms, I think we'll put it here. Instead of just displaying the number of rooms, I want when I expand on that number of rooms, I should be able to see those rooms. So you can challenge yourself and try to do that. Okay, so this one is just a widget that can help you to design a table. It's HTML, I mean say Laravel admin that can help you to design a table by putting what? By putting the name and value, and then you put an array which has name and value in that, and then to be able to get for your table. So try to do that and challenge yourself and see if you can achieve this. So another thing is the modal. For example, if I want to click on something and I get the details in a popover. Okay, so Laravel admin gives us that what? That ability. Okay, so you just simply put the word modal and then you put the title of that modal and then you put the function of what you want to display in that modal. So I can copy this and I show you what I'm talking about. Let me come here. For example, instead of expanding these rooms, you may need even to display them on what? On top. For example, I can say when you're previewing this room, you should show other available rooms that are related. Let's do that. So I'm here. Here under grid, under column basics. Okay, so I want here when you click on price, you should be able to see other rooms which have almost same price, something like that. So to do that, you'll just simply come in and put in a modal, for example. So I'll come here to the price. Here, and then simply put a modal and say maybe other rooms with same same price, or with almost same price. For example, if I want to achieve that, so so then you open function, then you put here the model, you receive that model here, and then I think if I do like this, Copilot can write for me that code. Let me see. You see, Copilot has written for me that code. Let's see again. Yeah, Copilot has written for me the code, but you can write your own code. Okay, so you see here, I'm saying other rooms, and then I just get the room which has same price as same this model. I get them, and then I loop through those rooms, and when I'm looping through those rooms, I'm just entering that information into this one as data. I'm collecting the room name, the price, the availability, etc. And then I create this widget table. This widget table. This is another way of creating a table. I showed a simple table called widget table. And then I give it what? I give it the data. See? I give it the data. So here I was just creating what? Each room, I get these values and I put them here. So then I put this data here. So this one will help me. Let me just put maybe without a condition, because there might not be same room with same price. Let me just get all the rooms like this. But you can put there your own condition if you want. You see? So that's it. Now let me, if I come and refresh here, this should be clickable. So when I click, you see, I get a what? A dialog. I get a modal which shows the, you see, other rooms with same price, and I'm able to see that. That's beautiful. I never used it before, but it can really be helpful. For example, I can remove this column of details, or I can limit the details. So, hope you see that how it's nice. Refresh. Now, when I click on this, I'm able to see the modal. Okay. For example, I can remove here maybe. Yeah, okay. So I hope you've got the point that you can be able to do what to preview the details, any kind of detail that you want, either by expanding or by using what? A modal. I hope you've got it. Like this. So that can be important. All right. So you can proceed. That is the modal, and that is the expand. This is the modal. How else? The vector. This one is for what? For previewing the G avatar of email that you registered. You know, some email that are registered, they can have a bit. You can they are place. There's a place which is called Gravita, GR Avatar or Gravita, whatever. That email that are registered, they have their default what? They have their default pictures. For example, let me show you. So if I add this one on, let me get here some column. Let me just, for example, come here to details. I've written already in this one. Okay, let me create here my own column. See if that one will work. Okay. So let me say I'm just returning here my email. Let me come and refresh. Can you see that? So there is a place called GR Avatar. This one, eh? It is a public space where anyone can set their what? Their what? It's a WordPress, I think, provided where anyone can set their profile photo for their emails. So that profile photo will be available to anyone or in public, in case people want to see your profile pic. So you can come here and sign in and set your profile pic. It's WordPress powered, and after setting your profile pic, that photo can be accessed from anywhere. Can you see? I just put there my email and I'm able to get my picture on that email. So it's called G Avatar. See? Just simply add this on the column. So if you maybe, let's say you have so many emails of different users, you want them to display, you want to display their picture on that email, you can use that one. So that's it. You can change the file size. I mean, for example, if the column is displaying file sizes, you can say this is a file size. You can tell Laravel admin that this is a file size, and then it will add for you the word. It will convert those words for you to MBs and GBs. Let's say that it's a file size here, and you want to Laravel admin to be converting the default value to normal file size. See, so it will get it from there and convert it like in form of GB or MBs. So I can put here random. So I put here, let's say maybe from 1,000 to 10 millions. So if I do like that, Laravel admin will help me to convert those values to MBs and GBs if it is a file if it is a file size. I hope you've got that. So Laravel admin can add that feature for me to convert those values in form of MBs and GBs when it is done, when it is displaying them. So that's it for today. There's more to hand. I think we'll finish the column. The columns tomorrow. So there's that of copy, there's QR code, there is image, and then there is this displaying labels, etc. So let's resume from there tomorrow, and I think we'll even handle the filters tomorrow. So I hope you have learned. I hope it is becoming important, and I hope you're not giving up. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, so when we post, you get a notification. And make sure that you stay here until you finish the whole course as how we planned. So goodbye and see you in the next lecture.